All right, we're here with new coaches Dustin Locke and Locke-Tallent. And guys, just wanted to ask you a first question on both groups, running backs and DBs, have a variety of senior leadership. Does that change your mindsets as you go into your first season?
It doesn't really change the mindset, but it definitely helps out as far as coaching the newer guys. And, instead of having one coach on the field, I've got, 5 coaches on the field that these younger guys can look up to, and they can follow what they're doing. It's easier to learn something. We've got a larger group of guys doing it as opposed to just one person doing it or 2 people doing it. So it helps out a lot.
Great.
Yeah, that's the same thing with the running backs. I've got a couple guys that have been here longer than I have, so they know the playbook pretty well, and they teach the younger guys on the sideline, and I teach them in the classroom, and when we're going through Indy. But if I'm not there to talk to them, I can count on Daryl and Paul to sit there and tell them what to do, and also Jordan Keller and Kajan.
Just kind of give us an idea of your thought process as you looked on to become a coach here, as you both served a pretty good deal of time as a player in this area.
Well, I mean, it definitely helped coming back. It's always awesome to come back to your alma mater. Played 4 years here, graduated from here, so getting the opportunity to come back this early as a coach here is it's almost a dream come true right there. So I think it's a great opportunity. It's a blessing, and it's definitely a very good starting point for me.
Yeah, and I played at Maryville High School for 4 years, and I really recruited me out of high school, and I didn't come right away, but I came 4 years later, and I'm here to coach now, and I'm proud to be here, and I'm going to do whatever I can, to help us.
All righty, and next question, coaches. Obviously winning is your top goal this year, but what can you tell us about some of your individual goals as a coach?
The biggest thing for us is we understand that we are a team. So we've got 11 people on defense, so our guys have to do their 111. If everybody on the field does their 111, we win. And that's our biggest goal right now, is we got to do our job. We can't overcompensate for somebody else. Everybody's doing their own responsibility. Of course, at the end of the season, I'd like to see my 4 starters, maybe even more than that, be all conference, possibly all American. But the biggest goal right now is just to do our jobs, having a swagger and having an attitude about them to get the job done.
Dustin hit that right on the head. All we can really do is do our job. O-line's going to do their job, quarterback do their job, receivers do their job, and I promise you the running backs are going to do their job. And at the end of the season, we want yards per carry up there. If we could have 5 yards per carry, that's going to be hard to stop. And then we're going to have to, the thread of the run at all the time. So then we can, throw the ball for more yards, and so 5 yards per carry, I guess, is our main goal.
Coaches, what can you tell us from what you've learned from your previous coaches now that you start your own coaching careers?
Previous coaches, that works all the way back from day one of putting pads on. Most recently, though, playing under Coach Iruli, you've got to be a guy that's hard-nosed and somebody that's going to finish every single play, no matter what the outcome. Whether you're losing the play, whether you're winning the play, every play gets finished at 110%. So that's the biggest thing that I've learned from Coach Iruli. Obviously in the ins and outs of some of the defensive stuff, but it's definitely something that's helped me out as far as what I'm preaching to my players now.
I think one of the best things that I've learned from my previous coaches is your responsibility as a coach is not just to make them reach their full potential as a player, but also as a person. And I've learned that from Pee-wees on up. So.
Now, coaches, who is a couple of players in your respected areas, Dustin with the defensive backs and Ryan with the running backs, that fans might want to watch out for this year to have a big season that isn't really one of the headline players?
I think as far as defensive backs, you obviously really have to watch out for our 4 starters are phenomenal. Bud Christie last season was leading the nation in interceptions, and unfortunately he got injured late in the season. I think he's a guy that that really stands out, as well as our two corners, Phil Garrett, Demetrius Christian, and we've got some up-and-coming players. Caleb Clement, he's out there, as our starting strong. And, another guy to watch out for is going to be Kane Crowell and Alex Anderson. They're going to be stepping in pretty big for us. And then across the board, our starting two lineups are pretty solid. So DBs are going to be dangerous this year.
Well, for the running backs and fullbacks, we have, of course, Daryl Tate. He's going to carry the load this year. And Paul Costanzo, he's a quick back, and he'll surprise you, though. He can come downhill. So we'll be able to count on them, definitely. We got a couple young guys. Travis Felder, he's a bowling ball. He's going to be hard to tackle. He's real low to the ground. We also have Chad Brooks, and he's a home run hitter. He's real smooth when he runs the ball. We have Kajanabout, and Kajanabout and Jordan Keller, they're both great lead blockers, and they have no mental mistakes. They know what they're doing, so we can count on those boys.
Okay, now coaches, a famous drill with the players and practices is called the Scotch Drill. And if you could kind of explain what that is and what it brings to the team chemistry and atmosphere of practices on a given day.
Basically what that is, it's a drill where we get, guys in there really just to go in, lower their pads, and get after it. It really shows who's wanting to get after it, shows the intensity level. It also brings a good spark and intensity level to the practice. Unfortunately, every now and then some guys get a little overzealous, but in the end we all come together, and it makes us all better as a team. It brings a unity to us, and it ultimately benefits everybody as a whole.
And to me, it's the definition of football right there. It's the game's won at the line of scrimmage. You got three linemen going against each other, and it's one-on-one. The low man wins. So it's a great drill to bring everybody together and bring some emotion to practice. So.
Great. That's it, good